Yes, thank you. The key responsibilities of local authorities, that includes municipalities, mayors, and big cities as well, is really to deliver on the reception of refugees initially, and then on the integration of refugees. And that's, of course, the main work once refugees have arrived in a country. So whereas the central government sets the policies, provides the resources, and sets the frameworks, the actual work is with the local authorities. And that's, of course, an enormous job. And it's a job that most municipalities are not prepared for, because refugees, they come in a sudden wave most of the time because of a big crisis in their countries where they are from. And that's therefore very important that mayors, municipalities, and the whole administration that receives refugees are well prepared and are able to draw on best practices. And that's very important. The key objective in these last 2 days is really to exchange good practice, to learn from each other, and to help each other also. As we just said, if refugees come and the municipalities are normally not prepared to react to that, they need a network of other municipalities to find out, how did you deal with a sudden arrival of 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 people, and how did you manage the services? How did you manage the language training? How did you manage the social cohesion between refugees and local population? So these are the questions that are extremely difficult to manage, and where we have seen that some cities, some municipalities were very successful, others, they struggled. They didn't find the right way of addressing it. And by doing it in the best way and learning from each other, I think we can really have a great benefit from this municipality forum here in Gaziantep. What we also see, of course, when we exchange good practice, we also want to bring that into a framework. And in many ways, the Gaziantep Declaration is exactly that. It looks at how to bring refugees into the job markets eventually, because you want people to contribute to society and not to depend on handouts, on aid. That should be only for a short period until they have been educated, have learned the language, and are able to contribute in a constructive way to the new society in which they live. There is also a big question about how to adapt infrastructure, how to do the language learnings and all that. And this is really where you want to have a more institutionalized framework that this Gaziantep Declaration offers. I think we will also look at how, for example, education is key, and how the refugees can participate in this schooling, and how they can catch up, because very often refugees have been traveling for a year or two or are on the way. And in that period, the children have no access to schools. So most refugee children, they actually have missed out 1, 2, 3, sometimes more years of school, and how to catch up, how to learn a new language, and how to adapt to the new curriculum. Those are the key lessons learned that we need to formalize, and we need to help each municipality on how to do this best. And of course, it is also important what the municipalities are doing in a way should shape the global policies, and it is doing so. And it also shapes very often the national policy. Many of the national policies, like here in Turkey, we have seen that there was a very close dialogue between municipalities and national government, so that there is a good adaptation of the policy and a maximizing of all actors towards the same goal. That means good reception, good inclusion in the communities, and of course also a good cohesion between the local population and the refugee population, which is never an easy thing. And let me also, by concluding, say that it is important that the learnings of this forum, the conclusions of this forum, including the declaration, will be a very important contribution to the Global Refugee Forum, which is taking place in 3 weeks in Geneva, and we're very much looking forward to receiving this declaration in Geneva.